And we are live.
Oh gosh, we're live. Okay, all right. Welcome to the 9 to 5, boys. We're clocked in.
Yeah, put away your gun, put away your dildo, you know?
Why do they have both of those? One's going in one end and one's going in the other.
I mean,
And it's not the ends you think.
one you put into someone else, the other you put into, you know.
Yourself.
I think that's safe. We didn't swear like in the first minute. I think we could talk about dildo, but okay.
I think we can. I mean, we're also going to be drinking beer on the cast, so I mean.
Exactly. Hold up. You didn't even bring that to like the mic. What are you doing, bruh?
You're fucking spitting facts, dude. Next time I'll just crack it up here.
Mm-hmm. Crack it right next to your fucking left ear. So, how's your week been, man?
What have I been up to? Yeah, I had my last week at work, which that was fine. It was very chaotic. It was very busy. I had a lot to do, which is totally fine. But like whatever. Outside of work was cool. So let's see. What have I done this week? I haven't gotten to see any movies. I went to go see some today. Today was cool. It was a busy day. I had like a coffee date with a guy, and then I went to go see a movie, or I went to go see two movies. So I went to go see that new movie Smile, that horror movie, which honestly, I was like going in with like pretty or cautious optimism, I would call it, because like the trailer, like it made it look like it could be really cool or it could be really generic and suck, but actually it was really cool. It was really interesting. It was really scary. The horror factor was awesome. It very much made you feel on edge, and it was great. It exceeded my expectation. And the ending, it comes out of nowhere. It's sweet. But anyway, so
Dang.
then the follow-up movie I decided to have to that was something a little lighter, a little lighthearted. So I went to go see that new romantic comedy, Bros, dude. Bros was fucking good. That was fucking awesome. I had like high expectations because I love Billy Eichner. That movie was fucking sweet. It's very gay, so you have to like if you're not like okay with that. Again, we do not stand homophobics on on this podcast. I think we mentioned that like an episode or two ago.
No, we do not.
Um,
In fact, anyone who hates on a gay person right now, I will suck a cock for every single person that hates on a gay right now.
no, it's like two cocks, bro. That way you're doing double the damage.
There you go. Boom. Boom. You're
it's
right. You're right. It's like, you know what? Fuck you. You hate gays? I'm gonna fucking suck two dicks right in front of you, bro.
like a hydra, bro.
Hate on one gay, only two more cocks get sucked.
Get two cocks harder.
Oh my god.
No, it was sweet, man. Speaking of hard cocks, it was a good movie. It was cool. It was very funny. It was very heartfelt. I was very much tearing up at the end. I fucking loved. I think it's very much autobiographical for Billy Eichner. I think he put a lot of himself into it, which is good. I mean, that's what artists I think often do. That's some of the best art that's ever, been provided. Is anything that's, you write what you know about is sort of the
Yeah.
advice we'll give. So I mean, he very much showed that here, and it was very good. It was a very good story. It was very funny. There were very good jokes. Yeah, it was great. I highly recommend that movie. I heard it
Yeah.
had a bad box office turnout, and I would have gone to see it this weekend if I weren't so fucking busy. This weekend was kind of crazy for me. Let's see. Oh yeah, Friday I drank too much. So then,
As you do, as you do.
as I do, probably once every month.
Once in a blue
But
moon.
so
Remember, once in a blue moon. It's not a problem.
once in a sure. Anyway, so then I then Saturday I was like I had to simultaneously like fight a hangover while I go rush to do my laundry before I meet with my buddy because my buddy Revel had this so he works at the San Jose Giants stadium and they had this big event thing. It was like a charitable event raising some money for like a rare kidney disease, which is cool. And it was a bunch of tech companies putting on like free barbecue and there was free beer and it was hella cool. So I had to do some beer tastings from like some local breweries, which was dope. Um, and yeah, so then I did that for a couple hours, and then I came back here to kind of recharge. My buddy came over because, like, in a complicated way, he like left. Um, let's see, we went out shopping together on like Thursday because we were hanging out, and he was like, "Oh, it's my sister's birthday. I gotta go get her some shit." And so we both get her something each, and he leaves it in my car, which I bring upstairs. Obviously, I'm not gonna leave alcohol in my hot trunk during the day, but so then I was gonna give it to him on Friday, but then I forgot it, and then I was able to give it to him on Saturday when he came over, and then in between that, I then let's see. So it was during that rest period between the ballpark and then a dinner thing. I had a dinner thing with some colleagues, and actually only two showed up, which was totally fine. It was a small little thing. It was quick, easy. And then I met up with that same friend from earlier again for drinks. We went out, bar hopped a little bit, and then we stuck around with this one that was doing live music, which was really cool, really fun. A nice little band. It was a bunch of old dudes and this one woman who she had some great vocals. The bassist looked like he was fighting for his fucking life. He was strumming the bass and looking like a turtle retracting. It was I don't know how to really describe it, but he was like just fucking I don't know. But he was still slapping the bass. So it was great. He was doing a good job. And the drummer looked like out of his mind. He was keeping on beat. He was just closed eyes the whole time like this, like fucking. I could tell he was like probably stoned or something.
Dude, he's in the fucking zone, man. Like he's channeling the gods of drumming, like John Bonham, fucking Neil Peart, like all the fucking greats.
For real, dude. He's just harnessing them all into one. It's like that end of the Rise of Skywalker where Rey's getting all the fucking the Jedi and stuff. Yeah,
Oh
I
my
am all,
God.
and I am all the drummers. Fucking just yeah. He was vibing, dude. He was doing a great job.
God.
Very much, very cool. It was a very good little thing. And what else did I do this week? The rest of the week was pretty active. I went out to dinner with somebody on Wednesday. I totally brushed over it. I had my first date with a guy today. That was very cool. I
Huh.
was very, it was nice. He's a very sweet guy. We're setting up another one. I don't want to jinx it, but yeah, hopefully it should be cool, man. It'll be interesting, man.
Yeah.
Fun little time. What's your week been like, man? What have you been up to? Anything eventful?
It's been a crazy week at work. Like I've been basically working 6 days in a row this week, so that was fun.
Oh shit, I hate days like that, man.
Yeah.
You guys like short staff or something?
Yeah, I don't know if it was short staffed or like my manager just trusted me to be like on call to be like, hey, can you do like a whole like 8-hour shift just like spontaneously? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? So I did like 3 of those and then like 3 like 6.5-hour shifts. And it was good. And then although weirdly enough, because like so one of the people who works in the same building as me but works upstairs, I helped remove a lot of beer for like a donation for like some event or something. I don't know the specifics, but I saved her a lot of time by doing it, and she thought
Nice.
he fucking like came in clutch when he didn't have to. So I'm getting rid of all this like fucking like expensive beer, like $100 worth of like exquisite beer, like.
Oh, was that the big case you showed me on Zoom the other day?
That was the one, yeah, where it was like 7 Daisy's favorites and like 5 Old Manhattans. That's like fucking $100 worth of like barrel aged beer. Like it is exquisite shit that I got for free.
You got free beer, man. That's a tight job to be at, man. Is when you get free beer at on top of a paycheck and tips too. I mean, you get some tips, don't you?
like I, for the most part, when I really think about like where I landed myself at in life, I'm just constantly bricked up, bro. Like I'm just ready to come. Like I'm
just getting edged with all the free beer, man. Just like fucking crazy.
The constant edging. I can't take it. It's fucking great. But yeah, no, other than that, busy week. I've been trying to get back more into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6. And I'm getting there. Like I'm like 6 episodes away from finishing what they release now, and they might release like maybe 8 more episodes in like 3 months. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So far the weirdest fucking like stand in that show is Planet Waves. Because the design of that stand is great, but I still keep thinking the head looks like a cardiovascular system. So I'm like, how the fuck did you miss the opportunity to call that one Sheer Heart Attack? Are you kidding me? The naming process sometimes confuses me, but, teach their own shit.
To each their own, man. I still haven't gotten on to JoJo. I need to watch that seriously. I literally just before we started recording, I was watching. I started Good Omens because I finally have Amazon. Um, and it's good. It's interesting so far, man. I love the creative choice to make Francis McDormand the voice of God. I think that's just perfect. It's very fitting.
That's fucking incredible, bro. I love that. No, and
It's
that
sweet so far.
also the biblical accuracy. Actually, it's incredible. Like I've watched like a few episodes of that show, and fucking the one of the four horsemen of death, exactly like how they describe it in the Bible.
Well, yeah, Neil Gaiman's usually very good at keeping to lore and stuff. He's very like keen on that, which is like what I liked most about reading the Sandman graphic novel and like how that um or the graphic novels and how they like expanded that story and stuff and like um and especially like in volume 4 where he like gets the key to hell. They have like a bunch of gods from different religions and they're all accurate to how the depictions are, even like different art styles and stuff like to match it, which is great. And I
Yeah.
wonder how they're going to bring that about in the show. It may not be as accurate that way. It may just be like a bunch of actors, which is fine. um
No, you know what they
but
gotta
no, it's
fucking
very
do
cool.
though? They gotta fucking get that red-headed Norwegian guy. You know the one. He was in the thing. The
Oh yeah, he's got to play Thor. Yeah,
he
absolutely.
has to play Thor. He's built for it, bruh.
Yep, absolutely, dude. He's got the red beard and everything, dude.
Yeah. But sorry, you were saying as I cut you off.
Um, I don't even remember what I was saying. I was
You're
just yammering on. I
you
mean,
were
yeah,
talking
it's
about like how you were curious to see if they were gonna bring that onto screen. You know, like the different pantheons of gods depicted on like television as
it's
they
probably
are
just
on the.
gonna be actors. Yeah, it's not gonna be like how they did it in the comics, but it should still be cool. I like what they've done with the show so far. I mean, and it's a little weird. I was reading about apparently fans were petitioning to have them do a season 2, even though it's like Netflix's most popular show right now, like most streamed. It's like it's the concern about. I was talking to someone about this today. I was talking about this with the guy I met up with this morning. Um, is like the creative choices that the choices that Netflix has to keep or renew projects is very. It seems very baffling because they keep very poor shows running for a very long time, but very good shows usually have 1 or 2 seasons. So it's like I don't understand, but so the fact that like fans have to worry about like getting the most popular show renewed for a second season is just odd to me. But anyway,
Look, the concern is real because you have to understand that like some shows have like been canceled after like maybe a second season, which that's a great giving, given how Netflix treats things. But their fucking movie, The Kissing Booth, the dumbest fucking premise I've ever seen for a movie ever, is about to be a trilogy, bruh.
oh, that's right. They had a sequel, and now they're gonna have a third. Why invest in that? It's like that. I didn't even see the first one. I just read about it. I heard it was so bad.
Like that's just to give you some thought. Like they cancel some great shit, but then they like have the right mind to fucking like make 3 of those things. Like what are you doing?
Yeah, seriously, dude.
I'm so glad I didn't do like a second Cuties. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god.
Oh, I forgot about that controversial movie. I didn't even want to. Just out of fear of like, I don't know. It's just it sounded super gross. I was like not interested. I mean,
As soon as I
I
heard
maybe understand the fucking director's like or writer's perspective, maybe, but like it's still just like gross.
no, as soon as I heard the premise of the film, I thought to myself, if I even try and look more into that, I'm gonna be put on a fucking watch list. I swear to
It
God.
feels like it. It feels like it, man. It was concerning. It was
Yeah,
concerning. It feels like
like
you're gonna like be put on it might lead you like you Google that and it might lead you to a rabbit hole of like somehow finding kitty porn on the internet. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, like
that's
come
just
on.
concerning, man. It's fucking weird,
Let the
and it's just a weird concept. I don't know.
let the fucking NSA and CIA be more concerned that I'm like jerking off to hentai and like muscular biddies. That's it, man. Come on.
They're
Like
not concerned about that at all, man. That is patriotism at its finest. That's what a lot of redditors do.
if anything, I'm more mad that I'm giving them good recommendations for porn. That's it. That's what I'm most pissed about.
They'd be watching you and they'd be like, "Damn, fam, this is some good shit." You know, like I might save this for the bank later. You know, like fucking.
They're just bookmarking it into their special folder that's encrypted.
They pull out their personal. They're like, on the work Wi-Fi. I gotta turn it off. There's a blocked website. Just to bookmark it.
The fucking NSA has NordVPN for their like porn viewings. Like that'd be fucking hilarious, honestly. Oh god. But I'm so mad that I'm giving that shit to them for free. Like, come on, you can't at least like, send me some money. Like give me some of that federal aid you weren't gonna give to like Hurricane Ian. Come on.
Yeah, for real, dude. For real.
Yeah.
That's still going on. That's right.
Yeah. Jesus.
Can we talk about this? Is an interesting piece of news I was seeing. In Spain, the mascot for transportation was it? Was it Spain or was it another country?
It's Spain. It's Spain. I know where you're going with this.
They have El Bussi.
No, I think it's La Bussi.
La Bussi. That's right. La Bussi.
La Bussi. I know it's probably pronounced La Bussi because it's for bus transportation, but let's say for the sake of the fact that it's the internet we're talking about here, and the fact that it's spelled in the way you exactly would pronounce that word, it is La Bussi.
And for our less inclined audience members, bussy refers to a slang for boy pussy. It means a man's asshole.
Exactly.
So Spain named their mascot La Bussi.
I mean, when I saw
they
that...
didn't mean to. I'm sure they didn't mean to.
Of course they didn't. And they were, like, probably surprised as hell for the amount of, like, traction that mascot got. It's like, wow, people are really loving La Bussi.
They love La Bussi, dude.
I mean, who doesn't? Who doesn't want to ride La Bussi hard, like, and mean? For the sake of a greener planet. Come on.
Ride some Bussi, dude.
Exactly, bro. The benefits, like, outweigh the negatives, if anything.
You think, like, some of these PR teams, like, would be able to, like, do a quick Google search, right? Like, they'd be able to be like, does this word already exist in any way? Or, like, I think back to, like, the H&M thing from, like, 5 years ago or whatever it was, where it had like the coolest monkey in the jungle sweater that was said like on a black kid or whatever. They couldn't have just done like a quick Google search about like America monkeys maybe or something like that. You know what I mean? Or like I don't know. It feels it's with the age of the internet. It feels like you could have more information on that, more nuance maybe.
I feel like with H&M, like I can kind of see where they missed the mark because aren't they like a Scandinavian?
They're a Swedish company.
Okay, so they are Swedish. Okay, so like I'm sorry, like Sweden is like incredibly disconnected from like American, racial history because keep in mind
that's facts.
Swedes enslaved themselves before literally anyone else, like way back in the day. So like, if they ever met a black person in like the Viking Age, they'd probably be like so freaked out by that, but also impressed at the same time. Like,
maybe, dude, maybe, but yeah, no. So I mean, it's very. Yeah, they're not as cued into that as we are, I guess, but we grew up with it.
Like, I'm pretty sure they haven't had a war since, like, 1850. Like, the USA has known nothing but violence, It's
nothing but violence, dude.
Nothing but violence. Like, so, to that I can say, yeah, of course they would miss it, but at the same time, that's also tragically so fucking funny.
It is a very funny instance. It's not funny that it's like encouraging any like stereotyping or racism in that way or anything. But it's funny in the way that like one misses that, and that's just it's a scenario that's just like it's written out of a fucking like it's like a sketch comedy show or something. Like that's just like PR team misses the mark by like doing this shit. Yeah, it's like. And I don't know. It's just very funny. It was very laughable.
Yeah, it's not funny because it's like deliberately hating on like black people, but it's like it's funny in the way that like Sacha Baron Cohen does his fucking like comedy style where he's like taking the
clowning
piss.
on motherfuckers, like yeah.
He's clowning on fools, bro. Like it's essentially what that is, and it's fucking hilarious. Like
it's fucking perfect. Man.
It's self-reflective, if anything. It should make us be better. You know what I mean? But fuck, people just find a way to like make that into a personal issue. Fuck.
I guess so, man. I guess so.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I should see that movie Smile because I've heard pretty good things about it.
Yeah. It actually surprised me. I had gone in very cautiously optimistic, but it was very good. It's very creepy. The monster when you see it is finally like creepy. It's like really weird and gross and like. It's cool, man. It's very cool. It's a very cool movie.
Yeah. I saw a review for that movie, what is it, Hellraiser, the 2022 version.
Where did that drop? Is that
Okay,
like being released
so
in theaters?
no. Long story short, like they reviewed it because they were playing it at like Fantastic Fest. I think that's what it's called. It's a festival in Texas where like they screen like movies before they actually like release them in theaters, and
Okay, tight.
the newest Hellraiser was one of them.
Shit, what were the reviews like?
Well, the only thing I knew about the movie before watching the review was that it was basically going to be a remake of the original by Clive Barker, but Pinhead is played by a woman. That's all I knew. Period.
Okay, so it's only him that's the gender roles are reversed. Or the genders are swapped. Gender swap, not gender roles.
As far as we
It's
know,
different.
but the review is that it was great. Like the actress, like she doesn't get a whole lot of roles. She got the role as Pinhead, and she went fucking full ham on the role, and she like killed it. Like
I've never even
spectacular.
seen the original one. I feel like I should though.
I've seen the original on TV. I don't know why the fuck they were playing this on TV because it's just
Isn't
fucking.
it like a lot of body horror? Like,
It's fucking dark. Like think like the worst possible things to happen in a horror movie, and that's exactly what happens in fucking Hellraiser, bro.
well, it's about like demons and shit, right? Like,
Oh yeah,
and
no, like
masochism.
yeah, the whole shebang, man. Like and that's another thing that the movie got a little bit of like kind of like flack for the 2022 version was that it wasn't nearly enough gore as the original one. So
Mm.
as well as social commentary, but for an unsettling horror movie, it nailed the mark. It was perfect. The costume design apparently was incredible because whereas in the original they're all like leather with like kind of weird shit on their face for the most part, in the new version it's basically like human skin fashioned into clothing, so it's like much more creepy and unsettling. Like
Oh, that's fucking metal as fuck, dude. That's dope.
yeah, I think the H.R. Geiger alien from Alien, but like if it was like peach colored with like some red splashed in there.
Jesus, man. Ew.
Yeah, it's fucking nasty, but apparently overall it was a good movie. So yeah,
Tight, tight.
yeah.
That's good. It got good. I'm seeing this movie Friday called Amsterdam, or Thursday. I'm seeing it. It's got Christian Bale, Margot Robbie, um, John David Washington. Um, who else is it? It's
Fucking Timothy Oliphant is in the movie, isn't he?
Timothy Oliphant, Remy Malek,
Holy
um,
shit!
Anya Taylor-Joy, I think, is in it. Yeah,
What the
Taylor
fuck?
Swift is in it. Robert De Niro's in it. Michael Myers. Michael Shannon? Is that who? That's the guy. Michael Shannon. I was trying to remember his name.
Oh yeah, fucking General Zod from Man of Steel. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes, yeah, he's
yeah.
in it. It's a stacked fucking cast. I'm really curious. It looks good.
Dude, that's always like a great selling point because like you get all these amazing actors in there. I'm like, well, shit. If they all signed up for this, this has to be like really fucking good.
You hope so, man. You hope so.
That's why I'm like so mad that like looking back on it, like Gore, the God Butcher from Thor: Love and Thunder, was so fucking wasted, bruh.
Yeah, like he was in very little, but the very little he was in, he was super good.
That is true, but
He's hella good, dude.
if you get a man like Christian Bale, okay, to play that kind of character, that noticeable character in the newer comics these days, like at least make like 2, 3 movies worth with him as the villain. Like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah, they could have montaged him more. They could have made a whole new trilogy with him being the villain or whatever, and like could have montaged him just killing the gods and shit. Because they kind of just skip over that.
yeah,
And like his origin, it's just the pacing of the film that's the problem. Is one of the
yeah,
big problems. I think is the pacing and like yeah, I think the narrative is a little dry, a little boring. I don't know.
yeah. Look,
I didn't really. I wasn't super in love with Thor, Love and Thunder.
here's how they could have fixed that shit. They could have changed the title to something else. Okay, for starters, that way it kept you in the dark and like what that fuck actually happens. They have the main story focus on Thor versus Gore, the God Butcher, just like in the comics. It's like brutal. It's like it sets up this guy to be like a tough son of a bitch. Like you think, okay, there's actual stakes to this because Thor has never faced something like this before.
He's
Next
the
to like
God Butcher. He's supposed to be like powerful, right? I mean, like
yeah, next to like Thanos or something, he hasn't faced anything this strong or deadly. and with a much more, sadistic, motive.
Mm-hmm.
It goes on for like the whole movie, and then maybe the next movie he fights him again, actually has like a strategy this time, defeats him. But because in the comics, like he gets this whole existential crisis on like if the gods actually do matter in the pantheons of like the universe and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah.
He would then go into a total like depression essentially, like back in like Endgame.
Yeah.
And during that, someone else takes up the mantle as Thor and starts doing the right thing and saving the world and whatnot. And then it's like, oh, who's this new Thor? And then they introduce Natalie Portman as Lady Thor, the mighty Thor,
Yeah, for real, dude.
Like, they had the opportunity right there. Like, on top of that, would have gave her enough time to actually, like, expand on her character and actually, like, make her a solidified, heroine, essentially,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
It's fucking... Thor Love and Thunder just makes me want to shoot fucking heroin and watch it again.
You need to be that fucking high to watch it.
Exactly. God damn. Like, I'll never watch that shit, like, not under the influence. I'm sorry. Like, that's...
I can't finish She-Hulk to tell you the truth, man. I can't finish it. I got up to episode 5, and then like I got to the wedding episode, I went 10 minutes in, I was like, fuck this, I'm done. I can't anymore, dude. It's the visual effects are bad, the writing is bad. It's not because she's like a woman or anything. That actually like sold me. I like thought, hot green mommy, dude. Let's fucking go, hot green dummy mommy. Fucking let's go. But like no, they didn't fucking. They made her look like a really bad sim when she moves. It's just like you could have just painted some hot muscular woman green, gave her some heels, made her taller. I don't know, but they chose not to, and it was a poor creative choice. And yeah, it's just that sucks. And then the writing is like not very good. It's just a very boring show, dude. And it's like I'm waiting for Daredevil to show up because they teased his ass in like episode 5, and he's still not there. He's probably not gonna be there till the season finale, dude. It's gonna be bullshit.
I know for a fact they're like covering their fucking ass with like their terrible writing and how the show's going. They're thinking we can still get the money back with the viewership if we keep teasing Daredevil until like the very last episode. Let's go, baby. That's what they're fucking thinking, and like obviously it's gonna fucking work for like most people because there's some people who are just gonna want to be drip fed fucking Marvel content until the day they die, which
yeah, for real.
Is unfortunate because I'm becoming more and more of a DC fan with how Marvel's going. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't like the new Marvel stuff, man. I'm excited for Black Panther next month now. Now it's October. Holy shit.
Of course, yeah.
Because I'm really curious. It looks like they're going to really respect Boseman, but I'm really curious what they do with it. And I'm really excited for, what's his name?
Namor?
Amor, that's what it is, yeah.
Yeah, Namor. He's
Namor. Yeah, I was gonna say Nomad, but I was like, that's not the one. And but no, I'm excited for him. That's gonna look cool, and the guy looks badass. But other than that, I'm not particularly excited when I hear about Marvel shit.
Now, the last thing that actually still kept me on the Marvel bandwagon was fucking Moon Knight, and even that still stirred some like fucking controversy on Twitter. I was like, fuck, man, can you guys not just like enjoy anything that's like actually decent? Like, what the fuck?
What was the controversy, man?
I don't know, like the fact that like he wasn't like totally accurate to the comics and whatnot, the fact they gave him the power to fly and shit. I'm like, come on, man. Like, fucking Oscar Isaac acted his ass off and actually like pretty well portrayed like mental instability.
I quite liked that a lot. I liked the episode where they're in like purgatory or whatever, or like the Egyptian version of it, and they're like trying to go off to heaven or whatever.
Yeah.
It's very cool. It's very cool. That was a great exploration. My problem with it was again like I think the visual effects, like when they're doing the action scenes, you could totally tell it's CGI, and like but it shouldn't always be CGI. They could have just gotten the costume department to design a really badass suit and have some like pay some fucking stunt double to do it. Like it's just I don't understand the
it's like
challenges, but anyway.
What the like? Come on, like even I'm sorry to say, like fucking even the CW TV series had better fucking effects on their costumes and whatnot than Marvel's doing right now with an unlimited budget. Clearly, Like
For real, dude. It's like insane.
that still blows my fucking mind.
I don't understand, dude. Whatever, but yeah, that just like I don't know. It was very yeah. It wasn't. Hawkeye was fun. Hawkeye was pretty good. I liked Hawkeye. Moon Knight was good. Um, it's just those are my complaints. And then
Yeah.
what else has there been? My favorite's been Loki so far. I loved Loki.
Oh
Loki was
yeah.
great.
That's a given.
Good
Like
exploration. I love Jonathan Majors, so I'm really curious where that's gonna go. And then what else, man? Yeah, what else is coming out in or soonish? I can't even keep up.
so I guess we're getting
I've been watching Andor though.
Oh, is it good?
Andor is good. Yeah, I like that a lot. It's interesting. It's kind of weird because I know how the story ends already, so it's like
Yeah.
but it's nice to see the developing beginning and what he really meant. Like they really show some good flashbacks that he's like, he's like I've been in this fight since I was 6 years old, and I'm like, damn, bro, he really has been. It's like fuck.
Yeah.
And it's a sad, tragic backstory. He gets kind of thrown into it,
Mm.
not by choice and stuff. It's very cool. It's very cool so far, and they got Stellan Skarsgård in it, and yeah, it's very cool, man. I'm very curious where it's gonna go.
Huh. I should give that a watch then. Shit.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely recommend that one. That's a good Disney Plus show.
Damn, bro. Fucking. What is it? I had a train of thought, but I lost it. Shit.
Another good show I was watching was The Bear. I finally finished that one, dude, and that's like it's funny, but it's also like a really emotional like show. It's a very dramatic series, but there's some very good funny moments.
Huh.
It's very show. It's really heartfelt. It's really interesting. It's really well directed, and it makes you feel like whenever the main character's having like an anxiety attack, you're having one. It's like very cool. It's a very well put together show.
Shit. Damn, there's so much fucking good content these days. What the fuck? I can't keep up.
There's too much content, I think. Like, there's a lot of good content, but there's also just like way too much, and like not there's a lot of it that also isn't very good. It is a lot of like because like on each streaming service you have like so many different shows. Netflix is always just pumping shit out, whether it be good or bad. I think one of their best shows is definitely Love, Death, and Robots. I think it's a great series. So it's very funny. It's very interesting. Very cool concepts it usually has. Um, yeah, but there's just too much content, man.
Yeah. No, I feel like the best shows I've watched on Netflix so far is definitely Midnight Gospel. That one's pretty good.
I have not checked that one out yet.
Yeah, it's basically so the premise is exactly what you probably heard about online. Basically, this guy had a podcast and he would have like guests on the podcast. And so he took audio from said podcast and edited it in such a way that like
Oh wait! No, I've seen Midnight Gospel. Never mind. It was that animated one, right?
yeah, it was the animated one, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking Midnight Mass is the one I haven't seen.
I haven't seen that either, but I've heard good
I mixed
things.
it up, but no, Midnight Gospel is great. It's very interesting.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of shit about like life and death and with beautiful animation. Oh my god, like I've never seen like surreal kind of like cosmic, animation than like that show. That was amazing. Like bruh. And then Umbrella Academy, but only because it subverts the superhero genre so much to the point where I'm like, fucking Marvel and DC creams their fucking genes that they can do this type of shit. Yeah. And then Stranger Things, obviously. Especially now, like, what the fuck? They suddenly jump and, like, do, like, amazing, storytelling. Like, all of a sudden, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and it's, like, very horror-filled, too. It's a very, like, creepy season, very gory season.
Yeah. It went
very
from
interesting, dude.
It went from Steven Spielberg to Stephen King. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Holy shit.
For real, man. It jumped a gas pedal there, man.
Yeah.
No, that was a crazy season. It overstays welcome with any of the characters or anything.
Yeah, like
it balances out all their stories. I mean, I think Will's story, like his little side story about him being closeted, I think they just need to be like more fucking strict on that next season. They just need to have him fucking say, "I'm gay" or "I want to suck dick" or something along those lines. It's got to be like, man, let the mans just like be free.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, granted, like being free in the like mid 1980s, it's fucking hard, especially in fucking Indiana, bro.
Yeah, that's true. They very much made that poignant with Robin's story. But
Yeah, I mean, you saw how fast the like town turned to like a satanic cult being the reason behind all these murders, because
yep.
they're good worshiping Christians. Like, of course, that shit was not
Good
gonna fly.
worshiping conservative Christian Americans, god damn it.
Yeah, like you telling me that shit like would fly? Like, nah, nah, nah,
No, facts, bro. That was
nah.
I like how they incorporated the Satanic Panic into the show. That was hilarious.
Honestly, yeah, and the fact that that shit was very real at the time. Holy fuck.
Well, no, I mean it was very. There were very much a lot of things being said about Dungeons and Dragons being like a gateway to Satanism.
And I'm just like, really, Dungeons and Dragons out of all fucking medias, like heavy metal, I can kind of get that, but like Dungeons and Dragons, like really, okay.
Well, it's all fantasy and spells and all that sort of stuff. It's like it's not very traditional American fantasy or American conservative Christian fantasy, whatever the fuck. I
Yeah.
remember we had a very religious friend of ours. I'm not going to mention his name, but I remember he was like, he was so funny. I remember one time we're inviting him for whatever reason to a D&D session, and because we're city worshippers and we play D&D, him and I. No, so we invite him to a session, and he responds by a text. He says, "Actually, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna go. It doesn't really conspire with my beliefs." I'm like, "Okay, cool, whatever, man, dude. You know what? Whatever, man. Whatever helps you sleep at night. Like, I had a fucking trip about it, man."
Yeah, but that I don't know. Choosing D&D to say like that's a gateway to Satanism. That's like me choosing Monopoly to say like, oh man, that's just gonna be a gateway drug to like squashing unions and like being a corporate billionaire asshole.
It could be. You don't know, dude.
I don't know. Maybe Jeff Bezos played Monopoly one too many times. Who knows? Who the fuck knows?
He
Like,
was turned by the evil Monopoly man, man.
yeah. I'll tell you what though, Elon Musk, he definitely played Operation one too many times and he never won a fucking game, but he still had the utmost confidence that he'll win this shit.
That's accurate. His whole life is a game of failed operation. He like thinks he's good at something, but he's like not really. But
No,
like
did you see his
he
fucking
keeps
robot? Like, bruh.
going. I have not yet. So what's this news about his robot that he unveiled last week?
Okay, so he said like a year ago, I think, that
I'm gonna Google an image of it. Do we keep talking?
they were going to introduce the Tesla bot, which is going to be like a slim humanoid robot. And so for his like presentation, he had a man in a fucking like unitard dance around on stage, like the Charleston and shit. And I'm like, this is dumb as hell, and there's no fucking way his robot's going to do that in a year, obviously. And then lo and behold, a year later, he releases his robot, and it is somehow on par with that fucking robot that Honda came out with like 22 years ago. Like, it is not that advanced at all. Like, oh my god.
It looks really fucking boring. Does it just have it's the black head and the white body? Is that's the design?
That was the concept design. That's the concept. The actual end result was basically like exactly what you expect. A bunch of servos and like fans on it and shit. And it just it moves like a robot from like 20 years ago. Like, and that was peak technology back in the day. Like, are you kidding me? Like, Boston Dynamics is essentially miles and miles ahead of like what Tesla's up
This looks
to.
like C-3PO from the Phantom Menace, my guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
100% though. 100 fucking
with
percent
like just
though.
a iPhone screen for a face. That's just like
The best part was he actually put more coverings on it on like a second version, and he had fucking three guys have to drag it out on stage. Like, you can clearly see they were struggling to try and drag this thing out on stage.
it's like heavy as fuck. It's got like hella like metal on it and shit.
Yeah, it's like if you're doing a school project and the fucking one guy who didn't do any work on it, but like kept like promising, oh, it's gonna be fucking amazing. It's gonna be the best thing. We're gonna have like transitioning slideshows for this. And the fucking, like, rest of the people who did the project were like, stop saying that. We didn't do any of that.
That sucks, man. That's so lame. I don't know. I remember when he unveiled the Cybertruck, and then he fucking tried to throw something at the windshield or the window, and then it fucking like broke.
He had some news about that too. He said the Cybertruck is gonna briefly be able to, float on water.
Briefly, what the fuck? What do you mean? What is this define briefly?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like all cars are briefly boats before they sink. Like, what do you mean, bro?
It's kind of facts.
Yeah. No, he said it's gonna be like able to like traverse rivers, lakes, and like seas if they aren't too choppy. Literally his fucking tweets.
Aren't too choppy. This fucking man's needs to get his shit together, dude. I don't even know, dude.
Like Elon Musk, what is he known for right now? Building a terrible truck, building an even worse robot, and giving like monkeys like Alzheimer's.
What do you mean giving monkeys also? What the fuck is he doing now?
Oh,
is that Neuralink shit? Is it the Neuralink?
It's the Neuralink shit. Yeah, he's either killing monkeys or giving them Alzheimer's. It's one of those two.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
Yeah, no, it's fucked up.
That should not be developed for humans quite yet. That needs some major fucking adjustments, my guy.
Yeah, no, like literally, I shouldn't be laughing.
He's gonna kill off half the population, then make the other half forget about it. You know, like.
Give me like Sopranos. Forget about it.
Forget about it. Gabagool.
Gabagool. I don't know. I'm only like 2, maybe 3 seasons into Sopranos. So I don't know. Like, do they ever say forget about it?
Let us know in the comments below.
Yes, please.
But no other spoilers. Just let us know if they say forget about it.
Yeah, if you fucking send me spoilers about who gets like killed in the next season, I'm gonna fucking get you. I swear to God. I'm gonna get you like Mikey Bellaquava, okay? You fucking know who that is.
I don't, but I mean, I've never watched the show.
Yeah. No, it's a good show, but like just spontaneously, like violence out of nowhere. It's surprising.
That's kind of like Breaking Bad, right? I mean, there's a lot of slow moments, but then there's some also very violent ones.
Yeah, but it's like you can kind of sense the buildup before it happens. Like in this show, it's like not so much. Like it gives you a general idea of what's going to happen, but then suddenly like something takes a left turn and you're like, wow, I was not expecting that.
Oh, damn, okay.
Yeah, like literally, okay. I feel like I'm only spoiling you because I feel like anyone who like watches this has probably seen Sopranos, or at least a good portion of it, but I'll try and keep it vague. So one character is talking about another character about to fuck their shit up, like their whole organization and whatnot, because he's gunning after him. Okay. And so they're like, okay, this guy's a hothead. We can't let him fucking take over. So what are we going to do? We're going to assassinate him? It's like, yeah, that's right. Okay, we need a time and place for that. And while they're deciding that, literally another character related to one of the characters has a domestic dispute with this guy and pulls a fucking gun on him and shoots him twice dead in the kitchen. So it's like
problem solved then, man. Like
problem fucking solved. It's like you don't expect it that way, but it goes down that way.
That's just like that's some comedy bullshit. That's some like sketch comedy shit. Like a bunch of hitmen trying to figure out how they're gonna hit a guy, and then he just fucking dies from like some other consequences indirectly involved with them. That's fucking perfect.
Yeah, the fucking like if the build up was like built different, yeah, it'd be something out of a fucking like good SNL sketch, you know? Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
God, it's a good show.
I need to check it out. What other shows have I checked out recently? No, I was just watching The Bear for a minute. I've got some stuff on Netflix I have saved. I need to check out at some point.
I still need to see that Dahmer series. I haven't seen it yet.
I am very apprehensive to it because like serial killer shit like that. I mean, it's very intense. I mean, I watched the whole of the Ted Bundy like tapes and stuff, the Conversations of the Killer or whatever. I watched the John Wayne Gacy one, which was interesting.
Yeah.
But it's all just like it's all talking about the worst shit that some humans have ever done to each other. So it's like, what the fuck, man? And like Dahmer, he raped and killed like his victims, right? It's like
yeah.
It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up.
No, that's fucked up. The thing that I'm like more upset about is the fact that like they're still focused on like the three major killers. John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, and like Ted Bundy. And I'm like, there's more than just those three, right? Like,
Yeah, there are a lot more. There are a lot more, and they're interesting stories to tell. I mean, I watched a thing on YouTube about like it was a documentary series on Richard Kuklinski, the Iceman, which is really
yeah,
interesting. It was like a psychiatrist interviewing him, and like they were talking about like his whole life story, and he's like the perfect example of like antisocial personality disorder. He's like a complete psychopath. Feels nothing but just anger and sadness, or his only two emotions. And he's very nonchalant. He talks about the things he's done. He talks about some horrible shit. Like he was just very bluntly talking about how he would throw dogs off the roof, or like he one time there were these guys. He was driving on the road and they were fucking with him. So he pulls out like 357 Magnum, shoots out their tires, and then when they're pulled off to the side of the road surrendering, he shoots each one of them once.
Jesus
It's like yeah,
Christ.
he just does it so nonchalantly that he's very monotone and doesn't have any emotion attached to it. He's just like whatever it happened, and that's just like completely unhinged. And I mean that's just how serial killers are. They're very like detached from it. Um, but Dahmer had like a compulsion thing, right? He was very remorseful for what he did,
Yeah, and that's
or
the thing
no?
that like people like don't seem to understand. It's like why the eating of the people, and it plagued me for a long time until I realized
Oh,
the
he was a
dude.
cannibal too.
Yeah, he was a cannibal, and like people were always confused by it. It's like,
Oh, ew.
yeah, why the fuck was he eating like some of his victims and shit? And I was like, it took me the longest time to figure this out, but I realized he never wanted to be alone. He always wanted them to stay with him. So I think in a sense, like eating them, he's like forever keeping them essentially.
Oh, ew. That's really gross, but
That's the problem with like these killers, man. Like you got to get into the mindset of like how they work. It might not make sense to you, but it makes sense to them.
true.
Yeah,
Very true. Very true. It is. That is how a lot of it goes, man. It's all perspective. It's all cognition. It's all
yeah,
how they handle stuff. Yeah. I mean, it's very interesting. The normalization of what they're doing for themselves. It's a it's a reframe that's just very. It's. I think it's what fascinates people most because of our concepts of ethics, morality, and that sort of thing.
yeah,
It's very interesting to see like how people twist that and do like the most horrendous shit they've done to a human being. It's very much a fascination I think that a lot of people have is just again it's the we're very we as a culture and as a society, at least I'm speaking within Western culture, we are very much unfamiliar with like extreme forms of violence, and so when people do stuff like that, we're just like, oh, you're not supposed to fucking do that. But it's like it's also we can't. It's kind of like a train wreck. We can't really look away. We're in awe of the damage. I think that's one of the things that really drives a lot of like fandom for horror movies. Like we love seeing like scary shit. We like seeing monstrous shit. We like seeing horrible shit just to remind us of like, well, not maybe remind us, but it's just it's to see the extreme form of one component. It's a very human thing to do. It's very yeah. I don't know where I was going with that point. But yeah, that's I think where the fascination comes from is the extremity of it.
No, I think your point that you were going with is definitely something that I believe in, and this is like the base level. I think for anyone who gets into this type of shit is that it's being able to like explore this kind of side of humanity where you yourself probably live like a normal like life and whatnot. You never think these things, you never do these things. You fucking go to work, do a 9 to 5 job, you pay your fucking taxes, you love your dog, whatever. Like you watch this shit to explore the other side of that, to like kind of in a controlled environment understand this kind of violence and like
hmm
terrible shit towards other people
In
while
grave detail as well. In grave detail, I've heard.
not in a sense being participant in it. Like it's kind of a way to like explore that without saying, oh, I'm doing something terrible, because like it's they're the ones that doing something terrible. I'm just like watching them doing that shit. Like,
It's kind of like dipping your toes in the water, sort of thing.
exactly, yeah. It's like it's kind of what the show Westworld does, in which like you get to live vicariously, the Wild West lifestyle. Like you can either be like the hero of the story and do like a typical, Western film type adventure, or be a drunken, sex-driven degenerate who just shoots people in the face because he feels like it.
Yeah, you could perform any fantasy with that. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
point of Westworld. Yeah.
you can be anything you want. Like, and I think that's the base thing. Like with all these serial killer documentaries and like dramatizations and whatnot, it's like it's just
It's
being
sort of
able to
another
like
form of escapism, maybe.
exactly.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
Well, it's been about an hour here. Let's see you and I clock out finally.
I would say so, especially after all this dark shit. Oh my god.